There's no doubt that climate change is real and that it is here. In New York, we've had 2 storms of the century just 1 year apart. We cannot pretend that climate change is not happening and hope it will go away on its own.
The New York League of Conservation Voters has been on the cutting edge of environmental change in New York State for 25 years now, and we've done tremendous things in fighting for clean air, for clean water. But today, in combating the biggest threats, such as climate change, the biggest threat is politics as usual.
The essence of NYLCV's mission is to be really the political arm of the environmental movement in New York. If you are going to make progress on environmental issues, particularly now in this climate, you have to have a strong political environmental organization, and I think the League has shown that.
There was a group of us in 1988. We were actually a mixture of Republicans and Democrats, Larry Rockefeller and Bobby Kennedy, and we gathered in a meeting, and that led to the creation, really, of the New York League of Conservation Voters.
When Paul enlisted Bobby and me, Democrat and Republican, to the present-day staff and board, the League has grown ever stronger, securing cleaner air and water, more open space and parks, and a more sustainable city.
As a result of our efforts, the politicians in New York State really sought after our environmental endorsement.
The League really works to develop environmental champions, to coordinate an environmental agenda among the environmental community, and then begins to hold elected officials accountable to that agenda.
Looking back over the years, there are a number of things that I feel really good about. And one was the 1996 Environmental Bond Act. There hadn't been an Environmental Bond Act, $1.5 billion, and the League played a leading role in the Bond Act.
It was very important in the Bond Act to collaborate with the League of Conservation Voters. Credibility. You know, a group that wasn't perceived as blatantly political, had been around working with Republicans and Democrats.
One thing we're tremendously proud of is our nonpartisan nature. We're interested in results, not in party politics. Another thing that's incredibly important about the League is our work at the local level. Environmental progress doesn't simply happen in Albany, it happens in our towns and communities across New York State. Take, for example, New York City, where the League played an important role in working with Mike Bloomberg on his sustainability plan.
The relationship with the New York League of Conservation Voters was a partnership almost from day one. I mean, the mayor actually announced that we were going to be taking sustainability seriously at the New York League of Conservation Voters dinner. We could not, I think it is fair to say, we could not have been successful with Plan YC without the New York League of Conservation Voters.
I think it's a model for our current mayor, who has a very impressive equity agenda, but which could be framed in a sustainability context that would benefit everyone in New York City. What makes the League unique is our focus on politics. We run electoral campaigns, we knock on doors, we do television commercials, we send out mailings. We use our PAC to mobilize voters to go to the polls and get the job done. Our mission is pretty simple. We elect for the environment.
We're not talking about small amounts of money that we have raised. In fact, that last election cycle we raised and spent $350,000, and we're looking to do more than that in this election cycle.
I appreciate the League all the more as we confront a major new challenge to protect the Palisades from the threat of high-rise development that would damage forever a timeless natural heritage and undo a century of conservation success.
Why is the League important as we go forward? I think it's more important than it's ever been. If we don't come to grips with some of the issues that we're facing today environmentally, we won't have a future.
We know that climate change is going to worsen over the next 25 years, and that we have to be prepared.
And helping a group like the LCV, joining a group like the LCV, for issues of so much importance to the future, is something that's an obligation of all of us.
NYLCV is absolutely worth supporting because it truly is one of those rare organizations that thinks pragmatically, that thinks politically.
I am honored to send greetings to all of you gathered tonight and to congratulate the New York League of Conservation Voters on celebrating your 25th anniversary.
The only way to win the fight against climate change is to engage everyone, to engage voters, environmentalists, the business community, the not-for-profit sector, our elected officials. We're all in this together. The next 25 years begins today.